Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Stef Neary, and if you have subscribed to this channel, thank you. I always appreciate the encouragement and support. And if you are just stopping by for the first time, this channel is all about de-stressing, restorative types of yoga with building up some strength as well. So if you need to get into something more comfortable, then put the video on pause and then join in. Otherwise, if you are ready, let's begin. So it's going to be about probably half an hour, and we're going to just take some time to settle into the body and to breathe. So to begin, come and sit down on your mat and sit however is comfortable, but just please make sure that your spine and your head are directly in line with each other, and sit up as tall as you can. You're gonna pull the core muscles in the lower belly, pelvic floor up to support the spine, and that really encourages your pelvis to be a little more comfortable, and also to use your core muscles so your back isn't swaying. If I sit like this, you know, a lot of people are used to sitting like this, and then so you're not using any core muscles, and when you sit up straight, a lot of people feel uncomfortable to be able to do that. So you gotta pull the core right back, the lower belly muscles, pull them into the spine, like feeling sort of like a corset, even though we don't wear those anymore, but that's really gonna help get you a little more comfortable. If you find that your knees are up here, say you do a lot of running and not really a lot of stretching, and you are sitting like this, the tendency is to feel like you're rolling back. So you want to put a cushion or put a blanket folded up and put that right down underneath, so then your hips will be like this, okay? So to start, let's just close our eyes and just feel what is going on in the body right now. Take a minute just to check in with your jaw and your eye and face muscles, and just relax and take a deep breath in and exhale out. Inhale in, exhale out. Inhale, exhale, and then just open your eyes. So if you're familiar with Ujjayi breathing, which is the traditional form of pranayama used in yoga, you're going to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. And so you're bringing the oxygen in from the diaphragm and pulling it all the way up into the throat, so it sounds like in the back of your throat, and then you push it all the way back down. Instead of taking a breath in through the nose and then just breathe it all out. And I know some different styles of yoga, you are encouraged to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, but you get far more oxygen to the brain and circulation through the body when you breathe only through the nose. It seems weird at first, but you'll get more comfortable with it the more that you practice. So now just take your hand your right hand down, and you're gonna extend that arm out. I hope you can see me okay. And then it's not touching the mat, it's just extending it out really long. And then you're gonna take your left hand and place your fingers right above your right ear, and then just gently pull your head towards the left. So you should feel kind of like a stinging, kind of a stinging feeling. Okay, and then release that, and same thing, left hand extends out but it's not touching the mat. Right hand comes over to right above the left ears and just gently pull to the right. And then release that, and take your fingers, interlock them, press away from you. Now pull the lower belly in, sit up nice and straight. Push the hands away from you. Just open up the back. And then in the same fluid motion, you're going to bring your arms up. Maybe if your shoulders aren't too tight, your arms might come right by your ears. And just come over to the right and to the left. And a couple of times each side. One more time. And there. Okay, and then release your arms and cactus your arms. So you're squeezing your shoulder blades together. Bring your arms straight back up, palms facing each other. And then pull your arms down and back up again. You should feel all the muscles starting to activate. Straight back up and back down. And then just come to the left and to the right. Now, depending on how tight you are, this might feel kind of uncomfortable. So your range of motion might be like that, you know? It's all right. Okay, then bring your arms behind you, interlock your fingers again, press the palms away from you, open up the front of the shoulder and the heart. Take some deep breaths. And then maybe you can fold forward. Feels really good for the lower back. And come back up. Take your right hand over and your left hand stretches to the right. Take some deep breaths here. And then come over to the left. Just get into that hip, the whole side body stretch. The muffin top melter, which everybody needs right now because of the whole lockdown and the COVID-15 they call it. We got way too relaxed and ate too much. Okay, all right, so you are going to stretch your whole body down to the mat. And just come up onto the elbow, and maybe you can bring that right foot forward. Maybe if you're a little more flexible, you can just hang out like this. Or maybe you can come all the way down onto your elbow. And just stretch nice and gently. All right, so now we're gonna do a little bit active here. So flex that foot, bring the foot up and down. So very limited range of motion here, especially if this foot is right here. Maybe you just have to hang on to it like this. Just to get the inner thighs and the lower belly, you can feel activate like this. point the toes. All right, good. And then you're gonna come over on to the other side. Doesn't matter what you started with, if it's the left or the right, because you're doing both sides. Okay, so maybe you can come down like this. Just pull this foot in at first, just to stretch out the outer thigh. And then you're gonna lift the opposite leg up. So we're gonna do some release techniques here. So neutral table, and spread your fingers wide like starfishes, and your knees are in line. Curl your toes under and just stretch your arms forward. So an active child's pose. Let's get into the back muscles here. And continue with your breathing. Always connect with the breath. When you breathe in, feel your ribcage expand, and then exhale, just let it all go. And again. And exhale. Now you're going to come up into puppy pose, okay? So hips raise up. Maybe you walk your knees back. And you're going to stretch your body down to the floor. Okay, if you're pretty open, you can just look forward and have your chin down. But if that is not for you, then just bring your forehead down. If you want more into the shoulders, you're going to tent your fingers by raising your forearms off the mat. And then, even more so, you're going to bring your palms together and like you're in prayer, and just place your hands up. You're going to feel this all the way up into your upper back. And release your forearms down. The palms are still down. You can see me yet. And then bring them back up again. Just feel the activation of the muscles. And down again. One more time up. And then back down. All right, so measure out the distance. You should be able to hang on to your elbows. Hips are still up. Then you can extend your arms forward. Forearms are down. You're going to round your back, right? Protract your shoulders. Look at your knees now. Walk them in a bit so it looks like you have like a little square in between your knees and your elbows. And then protract, curl your toes under, lift up, push your head back, walk your feet up. And then maybe you can inhale the right leg up for dolphin. And exhale back down. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale down. Bend your knees, come down. So we're going to do that 4 more times, except we're not going to be lifting the leg up, okay? So we're just going to work on really opening up the upper back and the shoulders and building some strength and some heat. Okay, so push out of your elbows, lift back up, push your head back. And exhale back down, extend your spine, look forward. Inhale, round, back up. Exhale, look forward. 2 more times, inhale up. Exhale back down, extend. Inhale up, last one. Exhale, and look forward. Come up onto your arms, or your hands, sorry. Keep the toes curled under, and then you're gonna push yourself back to down dog. So push your head back behind your arms, fingers spread wide, pull the pelvic floor in and up. And then let's see if we can open up the hip a little bit. Bring that leg all the way up, and then let that knee bend, open up, and look under your right armpit. Foot flops out to the left. Exhale back down. Inhale, left leg up. Bend that knee, look under the left armpit. And bring that foot back down. Bend your knees, look at your hands, and you're gonna hover now. So knees are off the floor. Exhale, back to down dog. Same thing again, up on the toes, bend the knees, look at your hands. Exhale back. Now you're gonna use your core the entire time. Great for strengthening your back, your abdominals, your thighs right now. Back down, back up, and down, back up, and down, back up. Last one down. Now we're going to hold this for 5 breaths. So really push the ground away with your hands. Lift those, keep those knees up. And then lower back down. Widen your knees now. Bring the 2 big toes to touch. And sit back to your heels, or your heels, yeah. And extend your arms forward. Child's pose. Take a couple breaths here. And then go ahead and walk your hands over to the right. So you want to concentrate on the stretch on the left side of the body when you go to the right. So the left hand is definitely more forward than the right. You should get a stretch going all the way up into the armpit. And then walk your hands over to the left. Right hand more forward. And then come back to neutral. Okay, so we're gonna do 5 down dogs on the first round with a cow, and then the next one into a cat, okay? So a total of 10. Okay, so curl your toes under, lift up, down dog. Okay, activate the pelvic floor, squeeze everything up and back. Up on the toes, And come down to your knees into cow. Just look forward, get that nice arch in your spine. Back to down dog. And down again, into cow, back to down dog. And that's 3, 4, and down again, and that's 5. Now you're going to come down again, push and round into cat. Open up your back. Keep the pelvic floor engaged still. And down, round, back, down, round, really push the round away, back to down dog, and again, back to down dog, and last one, really round, back to down dog. See if we can open up that hip again, so 3-legged dog. Look under the right armpit, maybe make some circles with that right ankle. And back down. Inhale, left leg up, push your head back behind your arms. Bend that knee, open up to the left. Make circles with that foot. Back down. Walk your hands back to your feet. We're going to do just a ragdoll, just to let gravity help with the traction in your spine. Your arms folded, gives you more weight to pull those muscles nicely, gently. Your knees can be really bent or they can be straight, micro bend. And then you're gonna let your left hand down, push the ground away, straight arm, lift the right hand up. And bring that behind your back. Look towards the ceiling. And then release that, bring that hand down, lift up. And open up the front of the shoulder. And back down. Walk your hands forward again. And you're going to come and sit down onto your butt again. Now this might be a little challenging for you if you're new or this isn't part of your regular practice, but it's a nice hamstring stretch. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold that left knee and then you're going to extend that right foot up. Okay, so this is your modification. You can stay right here for sure. Or you're going to do a little twist. Okay, so left hand out, right foot goes out to the side, and you look towards the left. So a modified, more demanding type of twist. And then bring that foot back. Maybe you can bring the foot up. Let's do it again. So you gotta use that core. And back in. And one more time. And good. Good work. And then switch legs. Okay, so really lift from the ribs And then you're going to bring that foot to the left and your right hand out to the side, look to the right. And back. Maybe pull that leg up more if you can. And again. And again. Great. Okay. Now, cow's head. Okay, so I don't know. Should be all right. Okay, so one knee's bent, the other knee's bent. They're stacked on top of each other. So you might be something like this, okay? And then you're just gonna lean forward and you're still gonna get that stretch. You're gonna get more of a stretch if your knees are stacked right on top of each other. And then you would flex your feet to get even more of a stretch, and then you're gonna fold forward. And then you're gonna come back up, and you're going to switch. Okay? So you might find one side of the body lets you do it and the other side doesn't. So you just do what you can on the side that doesn't allow you to, okay? And just let the weight of your torso give you that outer hip stretch. And of course, you're still breathing. And bring both feet out in front of you. Let's see something. Oh. Back this up a bit. Hopefully that's better. A little bit. Okay, so come to stand. And what you're going to do first is we're going to get into the inner thighs. Okay, so I'm going to give you two different ways to do this. You can just come back and forth like this, okay? This is the easy version. All right, so just go back and forth. Or hang out on one side, you can just bring your hands down and keep that foot facing forward and flat down. Or you're gonna come up onto the toes on the right leg, flip that left leg or foot up, okay? So the toes are pointing up, and if you're able to, you can come down onto the elbows, or you might want to stretch your arms forward. So that's, the minority probably. So you're breathing into all that tightness. Okay, and then you're going to come over to the opposite side. So up onto the left toes, and the right toes raise up to the ceiling, and you're down onto the heel. Okay, so pick your choice. Okay, and then come back up onto the feet. Just take a sec to make sure that they're in line with each other. One foot isn't more forward than the other. Okay, so you're just gonna bring your hands forward a little bit, and then you're just gonna make circles with your hips. So one leg is bending a little bit at the knee and one leg is straight. So you're still getting into those same muscles that we just were stretching. So it's kind of like a little fluid dance with your body. And then change direction. This might really help to loosen up your sacrum and your hips. Well, it will, but you might have more fluidity than you did after you finish this. I'm hoping. And just gonna rock it out side to side. Then walk your hands backwards, okay? So they're in the center. And if you can't touch your hands to the floor, then go ahead and bend your knees so you can get your hands down, okay? Or keep them straight. Walk them back. Let your head hang. And then walk them forward and look forward. And just shift back and forth, side to side. Okay, now you're gonna walk your feet and your hands forward. So now you're on your left toes, just slide that leg back a little bit. And the full right foot is flat. And your fingers are framing your foot. Okay, so you are just going to fold over that right leg now. And then bend that right knee now, and I'm not lowering my knee down like that. I'm keeping the leg active. Stretch out that hip flexor. And then push back. And then come forward, lower the hip, and stretch over the right leg again. And again, and stretch back. And then you're going to come into lizard. So drop that left knee now, and lower the whole leg. Open up that right hip. If you're doing this and you haven't done it very often, or it's not part of your practice, and you see my whole left leg and hip down on the floor, that takes a while to get into. So I'll show you. Usually people are right here, right, and trying to get down, and they can't. So don't think, oh, I'm doing it wrong because your whole body isn't down. That takes a little while. Okay, so stretch back now, like a half split. You can prop those toes up. And then you're gonna bring that knee back, and then move the left foot forward. You're gonna frame that foot again, and you're up on the right toes, okay? So just lower the hip, but not the knee. And then stretch back, fold over the left leg. Inhale through again. Exhale, fold. Inhale through. And fold. Now you're going to come forward, lower that knee down, flip the foot. Come down if you can. And you're kind of on, like, that foot is to the edge of the left mat, and then you kind of rock over it. So the knee comes out, and the insole of your foot is lifted off of the mat. If you have any ankle issues, it may not be comfortable for you to do that, so just back yourself up. Now, come out of that. Bring both knees back down. And then you're going to push back up into a down dog. And then walk those toes back, wiggle them back. Fingers spread wide, come into a plank. Okay, so belly in, push the ground away. Breathe. Push back to a down dog again. A little bit of strength here and there. Now bend the knees and widen the hands a little bit. Hug the elbows in and knees, chest, and chin. So the elbows are pointed up and they are hugging in. And then come through into high cobra, or lift the knees up and the thighs into full up dog. Then curl the toes, push back to down dog. And then you're going to just wave yourself back and forth. And then lift that right leg up. So you're not in three-legged dog. You're up on the left toes, and then you're just staying on the toes and lifting the leg up, point those toes, okay? So that's 1 on each side, 2, 3, 4, 5, 'Lower your knees, flip your toes, sit back to your heels, stretch out for child's pose again. Connect to your breathing again if you lost it. Deep inhales and full, complete exhales. And then you're going to come up onto your forearms. Walk your feet back so you're on your toes into a forearm plank. Pull the lower belly in. Don't sway the back and don't have your butt way up, okay? So into a plank, pull the lower belly in. Push out of the elbows. Lower the knees one at a time. And lift up. So you're on the hands, walk your hands back. Okay, so spinal balance. You're going to go ahead and inhale the left leg up and the right hand. And then take that right hand and grab the left foot, kick into it, push strongly out of the left hand, and then release and look forward and lower that foot down and the hand down. And then inhale, left and right. And then grab a hold and kick into it, lengthen out of the right arm. And then stretch and release. Okay, so we're just going to do alternating hands and legs, regular spinal balance. And so inhale up, exhale down. Switch, exhale, inhale takes you up, exhale to relax. And release from that. Let's make it a little more challenging. So, you always want to push yourself a little bit when you feel like you're at your edge. Don't fall off, but challenge yourself a little bit instead of trying to keep yourself in your safety net. So you're gonna inhale right leg, or right hand, left leg, and then you're gonna swing it out to the side. Okay, so right arm out, left leg out. Inhale to straighten, and then come out. So you can really feel your core work here. And the other thing is that you gotta keep that foot either flexed or pointed. Because the hip flexor is doing a lot of work there with the core. Okay, so settle that down, and then inhale the left hand, right leg, and then swing that out to the side, back to neutral, and again. Stay with me, you can do it. And good. You did it. Take a little child's pose, stretch out again. Relax your breathing. Pop your knees, or come up onto your knees, and bring your arms forward again for puppy pose. We did lots of shoulder work And then walk your hands back. Leave the left hand down. Your knees are hip width. You're going to inhale the right hand up. Bring that hand behind your back. Wiggle it in. Look towards the ceiling, lengthen out of your left hand. And then bring that hand back up. And release back down. Inhale the left hand up. And bring that hand behind your back. Look towards the ceiling, lengthen over the right arm, no bent elbows, straighten. And then lift that hand back up. Great. Now, little bit of strength, little bit of stretch. And I think that will be good. So just take a few circles just to stretch out the back muscles. And now change direction. It's normal when you're holding in plank and up on your hands and activating the core muscles and the back muscles like that to make, they might feel kind of tight and rigid. So just release those. And lift up. Just move your shoulders back. And bring them forward. Just release. And do some shrugs and just let them just drop. And bring one ear over and head up nice and slow. Bring the other ear over. And then drop your chin down. Just shake your neck out a little bit. Keep your chin by your sternum. Lift your head up and drop your head back. Stretch your throat. And then come down onto your back for Savasana. Okay, so just stretch out and let your feet kick out and your arms. Take some deep breaths in and out. Relax all the muscles in your body now. Just let yourself feel supported by the ground underneath you. So let your body just drop and melt in. Let everything go through your hands and your feet. connecting with your breath. Thank you very much for practicing with me, and I hope to see you again. Please leave a comment if you enjoyed that, or if there's something else that you wanted to see. That really helps me out to create more content. If you haven't subscribed, I would urge you to consider doing it, and then you will, and if you hit the notification bell, then you will get all of the new videos. So thanks very much. Have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you again. Thanks.